Hi, this is a tutorial to demonstrate how UV mapping in Blender can help to apply textures in your Unity models when you export Blender models to Unity models. So this is a cube here, kind of altered cube. What I did was I hit Tab and then I selected some vertices. I selected some vertices and I moved them around. I did that just to make this a little bit less boring than just doing something with a cube. Um, and I'm going to first demonstrate the problem that you have if you do not do some kind of a UV map or make some kind of a UV map for your Blender model. So I'm going to hit Tab again to get out of edit mode. I'm going to go to File, Export, 3D Studio. I'm going to name it, I'm going to name my cube Funky Cube, and I'm going to go to my favorite folder and export. Then I'm going to go over to Unity, and there's my folder. There's my Funky Cube next to the Funky House. By the way, I've used just Blender. I've imported just Blender models into Unity, but had more success with 3ds Max models. Anyway, so I just imported it, and my Funky Cube is here. Okay, great. So this is, I'm going to put it in the scene and show you. Oops, I'm going to go here first, sorry, and change the scale factor to 2, let's say, and then put it here. And there's the Funky Cube. And this is the problem that you have if you do not UV map first. If I go here and I want to put a texture on here, like for some reason I want to put a tree bark on this model, if I go and take the big tree bark and add it here, what I get doesn't really look anything like the tree bark. It just has some light on it, and it's the color of the tree bark, but other than that, it doesn't have the textures or anything that we wanted with the tree bark. Okay, so I'm going to just keep that there and go back to Blender. Now, here is how you do a UV map in the most basic way in Blender. Start out this way. You want to hit Tab to go into edit mode, change the selection mode to edge, and for convenience change the viewing mode to wireframe, then shift right click, basically all of the edges. Doesn't always have to be all the edges, but I think it helps. Did I get them all? I think I did. Okay, now you want to hit ctrl-e and say mark seam, and I'm going to get a new view, and I'm going to change the view to UV image editor. I'm going to go back over here, so I'm hovering over the perspective mode again. I'm going to hit the U key and say unwrap. And now I have some kind of a UV map. If I were making a Blender model, I could paint on it, but there's no point in doing that because I can't import my materials, from what I understand, into Unity. But that's it. I'm kind of done. So I'm just going to go to File. Oh yeah, if you have a complex geometry, really, I think before we did anything of what we just did, I would want to go back here, hit Tab again, and I will just do it anyway, just for security. I'm going to do Ctrl-J, and it says no mesh data to join. I think that's because there is only one piece of geometry here. If I had multiple pieces of geometry, would have wanted to do Ctrl-J first, maybe I'll do another demo about that. File. In any case, so moving on, File. Whoops. Hey, File, Export, 3ds. Funky UV cube. Export. Go back to Unity, and I'm going to import the funky UV cube somewhere. Okay, there it is. I'm going to again change its scale factor to 2 before I import it, before I add it to the scene, that is. And then I'll add it to my scene. Oops, I should have applied first. And here's the funky UV cube. Alright, now I'll take tree bark, and there you have it. It's got actual bark texture. It maps. You can see the images. So it makes a big difference. This will not help you. This will not cure your problems if you're trying to have planes from Blender or planes from anywhere in Unity and have them not turn completely invisible from certain angles. I was hoping that this would do that, but it does not. But it does help with this problem.